Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. It has been way too long since my last train with me video, so I really wanted to do another one today. The topic I'm going to be talking about is things you don't miss about old Star Stable. So this is a Reddit thread that I found. I thought it would be interesting to look into what people don't miss about old Star Stable, because I feel like a lot of people just talk about how they miss the old SSO. So anyways, let's just get right into the training. This first one says not being able to save bought hairstyles. Like every time you wanted to change it, you had to buy it. And for star coins too, every time. I actually didn't know about this because I low-key didn't buy a different hairstyle from my starter hair until like a year and a half ago maybe. Like I made a video about it and it was the first time I had ever bought a hairstyle in this game because I always just had my starter hair. So I actually didn't know this was a thing, but I can really see how it'd be so annoying because if I already bought it, why would I have to buy it again? So I just feel like it makes a lot more sense that the game now has it so that you can keep all the hairstyles that you buy. It's the same thing as clothing. Like if we bought the clothes and we changed our shirt, we shouldn't have to buy the shirt again, which we don't, so it just makes sense to have that for the hairstyles as well. The next one says, I absolutely hated only being able to keep 10 horses in your stable at one time. You paid star coins for a horse and then you'd have to send another one of your horses away to become unrideable and unusable, and pay more star coins or your Vix shillings for the privilege. The new home stable system is so much better. This one is true. I like the idea of having like a paddock area to put certain horses that don't fit in my home stable. Also, just not having the option, like you could only own the 10 horses and only send like a certain amount to Horse Island or whatever it was called. So I'm really glad. I think I started Star Stable like after they did that update because I don't remember ever having that old home stable, so I'm pretty sure I never had to experience that because that would be just so annoying, honestly, to have to deal with. And also like choosing which horses to have to send away or not buy just because you'd have to send horses away. That would be actually so depressing to have to think about. This person has 3 different ones. So the first one is when your horse took damage and you got transported back to your home stable and you'd have to care for them again. That one I could see is annoying, especially if like you're in the middle of doing something and then you get teleported all the way back to your home stable, which might happen to be like all the way across the map, so that could be actually so annoying. The next one is when magic horses change coats automatically depending on your location. I have never owned a magic horse, I don't think. Actually, I do have some on my alt account, I just don't really play on there, so. And also by the time that I bought them, I'm pretty sure you could pick when you wanted them to change coats. I think it was definitely interesting when the magic horses first came out that it was so cool that they would just change depending on where you were at. Like if you were in public like town or whatever, they would be normal, but then once you got into the wild, they would change into their magic coat, which is a really cool concept. But I also like that now you can choose when you want the coat to like appear. And then their last one says before they introduced a quicker jump and your horse hadn't reset before the next jump,
so you crashed into it.
This one I 100% agree because it used to be like maybe like 2 or 3 strides before your horse could jump again, and I was like, how am I supposed to do some of these races? But like especially the one I'm doing right now, the closer the jumps together, the harder it was to do because your horse had like a reset time. It couldn't jump right away, but now we can jump like as soon as we want pretty much, which is way better for racing. They can put the jumps really close together, so it just wouldn't make sense for us to not be able to jump right away. This one says head and tail ribbons always being star coins only. 100% true, because I think for like everything we should have the option between paying your Vix shillings and star coins, which is a big reason I think they need to up the filling limit, because they can make things cost both star coins and shillings, or they can just make the shillings more expensive so that it kind of equals out, but that just means they have to up the limit of your Vix shillings to over 10,000, which still to this day I think, why is this a thing? But yeah, I would pretty much just refuse to buy ribbons that are not for your Vix shillings just because I find I don't like not wearing them, but also they're such a small thing that I don't want to be spending a lot of star coins on them. This one says the clothing icons just showing what type of clothing, like hat, shirt, or pants, instead of showing the actual clothing, so thankful for that. This one is so true because you would have to scroll through like every single item to get the pants that you wanted, for example, because they would all show like the same icon and wouldn't show you what pants they actually were. So you would spend so long trying to figure out which ones were the pants or like the shirt that you wanted to wear. So I am definitely really happy that we have the new system now where it just shows you the exact item because it is so much easier to get dressed. The next one is global chat only being in towns and villages. So many times I get stuck on a quest and would have to leave and go ask for help in a nearby town. This one is so true because why would it be called global chat if you couldn't talk from wherever you were? Like, that's not really a global thing then. So it just makes sense that they would have to change that, and now you can use it like wherever you are, which I think is it just makes sense based on the name that they gave it. So I don't know why it wasn't like that in the first place. This next one says jumping being exclusive to Star Rider. This one is so true because I cannot believe that you couldn't jump unless you paid for the game. Like, it's just a very basic thing to do for a horse. So like everyone should be able to. This person said, definitely when the Dino Valley had that snowflake thing where you could only ride certain horses at full speed. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I actually kind of do miss the fact that the snow effect isn't in effect anymore in this game. Like, we can ride whatever horses that we want now in Dino Valley and they can all run at full speed. I get for some people that like you did have to go out and buy a specific cold tolerant horse. So obviously it's gonna cost more money, which not everyone has. But I also think it was really important, especially for the people that like Dino Valley was new when they were playing, because then it was something to look forward to, like getting a fjord horse or something. And now, although they're cute and stuff, I feel like it just doesn't have the same effect anymore as it was like the nostalgia of like, oh, I have to save up to get this horse to like go to this new area, and it was just like so different than anything else. So I actually do kind of miss that, and it's a feature I wish they would bring back. Although I get that sometimes it could be annoying because you just like, I just want to run through it. But for the most part, I actually do really miss having the cold tolerant horses. But do let me know what your opinion is on that, because I don't know if that's like a hot take or anything. This one says spamming the W key so that your horse doesn't slow down during a race. This one, I got so used to having to do that, like pressing W every few seconds so that my horse wouldn't slow down, that when I'm playing this game, I literally still do it just out of habit. I just press W at random times just because it's out of habit. Like, my finger just goes there, even though I know that I don't actually have to be doing that. I mean, I could go either way. I feel like it's like a little thing doesn't really affect me because I still seem to do it anyways, but I can see how some people it would just be like a lot easier to not have to worry about that. This one says costing star coins to switch home stables. Okay, I haven't switched my home stable in a long time, but I thought that it still costed star coins to move your home stable. But like, maybe after I record this video, I'm gonna have to go check, because if it costs Jorvik shillings now, or like if we have the choice, that would be actually so good, because I kind of want to move my home stable all the time. I just don't really want to spend the star coins on it, but I actually kind of need to go check now if this is a thing, because that would actually be so good, honestly. Because I noticed that they took the star coin option out of the trailers, so it's actually like nice, because once in a while I would accidentally click pay with star coins in the trailer, and that was just such a waste. So now they don't even have that as an option, I'm pretty sure. So now I really want to go see if home stables can be moved for shillings now instead of just star coins. This person said the little location tag in the middle of the screen popping up whenever you stepped on a different blade of grass. Okay, I know what this person means. So like a little like location of where you were would pop up on the screen literally all the time. Like, I do think it was excessive, because if I'm still in Steve's farm and I move a little bit to like the right or something and a new location would pop up, I'm like, okay, I don't really need to know that information. But I do notice that it doesn't pop up anymore, which is kind of nice, because it did feel like it was crowding the screen a lot just with how much it would pop up. But I feel like if there was like less titles for where we were, it wouldn't have been as annoying. And then this last one says only being able to do horse care at a stable. That, coupled with how fast they always seem to need care again, it was just a stressful headache to stop questing, stop everything, and hobble to the nearest stable for horse care. I'm glad we can feed and water them wherever now. This one's true, because if you hadn't taken care of your horse and you were in the middle of doing something like this person said, it would be really annoying to have to go way over to the nearest stable. And now we can just do it wherever we want, which is really nice. And I don't really remember having to care for them more often. That would be so annoying, because you only have a certain amount of like water buckets and food all the time. Anyways, that is going to be all for this train with me video. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you don't miss about old SSO. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!